Hey guys, it has been a pretty long time, um, and I've been meaning to actually make a video um, a lot sooner. There's just been a lot of things that have happened. Um, I'm on my channel and like on social media and stuff. Like, I'm not really a person that shares a lot. Like, I share a lot about my faith. I share a lot about um, just what the Lord is talking to me about, um, and things like that. Um, but I don't really share a lot about like myself, like and personal things, just because I don't feel like I don't know. I don't when I think of social media, I don't think of it as a place to like be personable or personal, personal and stuff. I think of it as a fun way to be able to connect with people and to share, creative things. And I think it's really great, and I'm grateful for it in those aspects. But it's never something that, I feel like, you know, I don't know. um, but basically, I'm going to be a little bit more personal about certain things that are happening, just because it does like affect a lot of things that are happening in my life right now. It affects like me posting and stuff, and it affects my business. It affects like just everything. So I just want to be more like open about that, and to share and stuff. Um, as you can see, I'm in a different place. I'm currently at my parents' house right now, um, and I'm out in the backyard. And the reason why I'm here is because I actually moved out of my place in New York. Um, I'm currently preparing to go into the Navy, um, which is like, I think it's crazy because in the span of like 2 or 3 months, like my life has changed so much. Um, Going into the military is something that like I've kind of ran from for like 10 years. Um, and it's really beautiful to see how, even though like part of me always like admired, the military life. I've been around it my entire life. My mom's worked as a civilian for the military for probably like over 25 years. She's eligible to retire very soon, even though she won't, because she loves to work. But yeah, like I grew up um, from being in a military, like a program like for early child care, from an infant pretty much all the way up until school age. I think my last year was like, I think I was going into high school, was my last year. Um, so it's been something I've been around my entire life, something I've always admired, but something I always felt like I was just not like, like I didn't think that I was strong. I didn't think that I was brave. I still don't think that I'm brave. I think God makes me brave. Um, and it's been something I've wrestled with for a long time. Um, and I've shared parts of my testimony before, and about how like, it's been 3 years, going into my 4th year with the Lord, um, as a born again Christian, and how like so much of my life has changed, so much of my perspective has changed, my values, um, so much. I'm not the same person, and the person that was afraid to go into the military, and that was afraid to, put my life, um, the person that was afraid to put my life down for other people, and to lay it down for my country, that person is gone. And I wrestled a lot with that, I think, this past year, about feeling like, Lord, I know you're telling me about doing these things. And even like with New York, in the span of 2 months, again, like deciding to move to New York, and then within 2 months, the Lord gave me a job. He gave me an affordable apartment, and I moved in, and and I was there for a year, and He showed me so many beautiful things in that. My roommates, who I love and I miss already. When it was making that decision that He moved so swiftly. And it's the same thing again, I think I decided that I was really gonna go into a list. I think honestly, like towards the end of January, I finally made the decision. And then kind of like looking at different branches and praying, and God opened the door with the Navy for me. And within, I think, I took my test and stuff like in May. I just signed my contract and everything, and about like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And then I go to boot camp in 2 weeks. And God's just been faithful in that, and so faithful in like even the position that I got, I've been praying about for a while. And He opened the door for me to be able to get in that position, and to really start my career for His glory, the way that He wants it to be. So I'm really grateful in that. But it's been hard, a lot of it's been hard. Getting into like the more personal. A big reason why I've been like offline for a while. And not even a lot of people in my everyday life really know. But my biological dad was diagnosed with stage 3 pancreatic cancer about 3 years ago. Our relationship, we didn't really have like a relationship really for a majority of like my life, my adult life especially. But like during this time, we kind of were starting to like reconnect a lot more. And we kind of got into communicating, on at least like a few times a month. And then he found out about his diagnosis, and I'm grateful that we got to build more of a relationship, and getting to visit him. He lived out of state, and getting to visit where he's been for like the past like decade, and almost 2 decades actually, and getting to spend time with them and getting to meet my other siblings has been really great. Unfortunately, like last month, he did pass from his cancer. And the few months leading up to it, because this year, the few months leading up to it has been difficult, and yet I'm so grateful, because I know the Lord's really given me a lot of peace during this time still. He's given me a lot of peace, and I think He's given me a lot of peace. And I still like really struggle with that. Like, um, I still really struggle with it because like it's a lot. It's a lot to process. Like, just things over the years with him, and like these past few years, reconciling a lot of things, even things I didn't really get to communicate to him. Just kind of like, yeah, just having to walk with the Lord in a different way. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my family. And I'm grateful for my mom and my dad, Elliot, who raised me. I'm grateful that, God provided for me during those times. My biological dad wasn't in my life. And, yeah, it's just a lot. So, yeah, just like these past few months have been like just a lot with him getting his health like declining. And then on top of that, like reconciling with the fact that like I am moving out of like a place I thought I was going to be for a while, out of a city that I really love, and then just going into a different lifestyle, like coming out of civilian life and going into military life, just kind of like processing all these things at the same time. So it's just been a lot, and that's kind of why like I haven't really wanted to like, obviously not like wanting to like film or anything like that, or even like painting and doing things has been really hard. So like now I've been like, God's given me more opportunities to be able to get back into the space of being creative with him, and it's been a healing space, so I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, just kind of sitting with him on what is going to be going on in terms of like, even with this channel and with like, just with everything. I don't think I'm ever really a person that makes plans anymore. I think I think even before I became a Christian, I was always kind of very spontaneous and very like, not really having a plan, just living life, and that was it. And now it's like, I wouldn't say that, actually I would say that I do like make plans, but the overall plan is always to just do whatever the Lord tells me to do, and to just put him first above everything. And I love like what I do. I love creating, I love filming, I love editing, I love creating and telling stories in a different way. But at the end of the day, like, if God says to like lay it down, like I lay it down, because nothing's more important. Nothing's more important than being in his presence and spending time with him. And I've had to do that definitely in this season. Just being hidden in him, and just resting. I'm grateful to be home and like getting to spend time with my family. Like getting to spend like, even though it's like, only a few weeks, like getting to spend every day with my parents has been really awesome. And spending time with my siblings has been really awesome. It's so needed. Um, and just, yeah, spending time praying with Him, with the Lord, is kind of the plan. You know, there are things like, I guess, like, I do have, like, some videos and stuff that are already, like, done, and will probably just be, what's the word? Scheduled. Will just be scheduled for, like, because I'm going to boot camp for 10 weeks. Within that time, I don't really know. But they'll be scheduled if they're, up, and if they're not, they're just not, Yeah, I'm looking forward to just even more time away with Him, especially at boot camp. A time with, like, no phone, literally just working out every day, being disciplined, and being turned into a sailor is really what I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I just knew that, like, I need to say something and kind of, like, explain why I've been away and why I'll continue to be away. Just being, like, transparent about things. So yeah, thank you for watching this, listening to it. And thank you for just all the support over the years. And yeah, like, just thank you for everything. Obviously, like, with Trinity Ashko, I won't be, like, able to fulfill any orders or anything like that until after I come back. So yeah, I do plan on I was planning on launching a lineup of new things. I'm still contemplating on if I should do that. But we'll see. I think when I come back, like, I'll have a lot more clarity on the next steps of what to do and not to do. But yeah, just thank you again. Thank you for everything. And just praying that the Lord continue to bless and keep you guys, and that He just continue to show you His faithfulness, because He's faithful. He's good. He's kind. And He's present, even when we don't feel Him. Even when we go through hard times and it feels like we're alone and there's nothing and no one out there to save us. Jesus has saved us. He saved me, and I'm really grateful for that. And I pray that you get to experience that too. Yeah, I just pray that you get to experience the risen Jesus like I have and continue to. And that you just have a blessed day. Yeah, in Jesus' name I pray, amen. Lord bless you and keep you guys. And I'll see you when I see you.